Okay, today we are going to be doing hand stitching with a needle and thread, and then you're also going to be using that wire that I sent home. Everyone should have one wire. The first thing that we're going to do to get this wire ready is you're just going to kind of turn in the ends of the wire because you don't want the wire to poke you at all. So I'm just turning in those ends, creating a little loop there. Because this is going to go over the nose, the top of the nose of the mask here. So just turning in both of those carefully so that that piece, the ends of those wires on the piece doesn't poke me. Okay, then I am going to position the wire right over top of kind of the hill here, okay? And I have a needle and thread with just a white thread so you can kind of see it. But what I am going to do first is I am just going to take and I'm going to sew through the loop and down just to kind of hold it in place where I want it to be. And I'm going to go around and back down through. So kind of similar to the whip stitch because we're going around that raw edge of our fabric there to hold that in place. Okay, and then I'm just going to trim this off, re-knot my thread, and do the same thing on the other side to hold that wire in place. Now this wire should sit in your seam allowance, so that's kind of where you want that to be. Okay, so I have that wire kind of secured in that seam allowance there. And now what I want to do is I just want to go and basically do a running stitch, but like a zigzag running stitch so that my thread is kind of holding that wire in place. So I'm just going to go on one side of the wire, come up, and I'm going to go back down on the other side of the wire. And I'm going to come back up and then go back down, and I'm just looping around that wire when I come up. So I came up on that side, and now I'm going to go back down on the other side of the wire, holding that in place. Okay, so you can see that I had that sewn there in that seam allowance on the wrong side of the fabric. Make sure that you are looping around that. It will get easier to sew this as you get farther along, as that wire is going to stay in place a little bit better. Make sure that you take a picture or upload a video onto Flipgrid of the wire in place for me, and then you're done with your sewing homework for today.